Hello and welcome to this session on the selection of breeding and rearing in small ruminants. Today we will discussing on how to choose the right animals for both breeding and rearing to ensure the health and productivity of your flocks. Selecting the right animals for breeding and rearing is crucial because these decisions directly impact the future of your herds. Not only do you want animals that are productive and healthy, but you also want to pass on the best trait to the next generations. Today, we will cover some key factors you should consider beyond the usual physical conformation and reproductive potentials. At the end of this session, you will be able to design and implement breeding program, understand rearing practices, and promote optimal growth and productivity and also evaluate the impact of selection strategies on the long-term sustainability and profitability of a small ruminant operation. When selecting animals for breeding and rearing, you should first consider your overall farm goals. Are you focused on meat, milk, or fiber productions? The answer to that question will influence which traits are most important to you. But regardless of your specific goals, there are universal factors you need to evaluate in every animals you select for breeding or rearing. Let's start by discussing one of the most overlooked but critical factors: temperament. Temperament is often overlooked, but it plays a huge role in managing your flocks. Calm, docile animals are easier to handle, which makes day-to-day tasks like feeding, health checks, and shearing much easier. When selecting animals for breeding, you should prioritize those with a good temperament, especially in males, since they tend to pass on their behavioral traits to their offspring. A calm, manageable male will likely produce offspring that are easier to handle. On the other hand, animals with nervous or aggressive temperaments can be more challenging to manage. They may cause injury to themselves or to the handler and can be more difficult to care in general. Over the time, selecting the calmness can improve the overall manageability of your herds. Another important factor to consider, especially when selecting breeding females, is mothering ability. Good mothers are essential for the survival and growth of young animals. A female with a strong mothering instincts will be attentive, protect her young, and produce sufficient milk to ensure they grow healthy and strong. Next, let's talk about disease resistance. Selecting animals that have a natural resistance to common diseases can drastically improve the overall health of your flock and reduce veterinary costs. Some breeds or individual animals are more resistant to parasites, respiratory infections, and other diseases, making them better suitable for breeding. It is important to look for signs of health and vigor, such as bright eyes, a shiny coat, and good body conditions. Animals that frequently fall ill or require medical interventions are not good candidates for breeding, as they may pass on weaker immune system to their offspring. Body condition and overall health are key factors in both breeding and rearing. An animal that is too thin or too fat may struggle with fertility and may not pass on good genetics to its offspring. The ideal breeding candidate should have a BCS of around 3, which indicates they are optimal health for reproduction. A healthy body frame, straight legs, and a good mobility are also essential for breeding animals. These traits not only affect the animal's ability to produce and also ensure the offspring will grow up to be healthy and productive adults. Another factor to consider is structural soundness, especially in breeding animals. You want to select animals that have a strong straight legs and a sound feet. Issues like lameness or deformities in the legs can lead to reduced mobility, making it harder for animals to graze, move, and breathe effectively. When assessing structural soundness, make sure to check for any signs of weakness in the joint, legs, and hooves. These physical issues can worsen over time, affecting the animal's quality of life and productivity. Now, let's focus on reproductive traits. When selecting animals for breeding, reproductive health is obviously a top priority. In males, you want to check for well-developed testicle, good libido, and no signs of reproductive issues. Male with high reproductive potential will sire more offspring and contribute positively to the herd's genetics. In females, you will want to check for a good, well-formed udder and good milk production potential, particularly if you are breeding for dairy. Female with a poor udder structure or low milk yield should not be kept for breeding, as these traits can negatively impact the growth and health of their offspring. Pay attention to signs of mastitis or other related issues, as these can also reduce the female's ability to raise healthy young. One more important factor to consider is adaptability to the environment. Small ruminants should be well suited to the specific conditions of your farm, whether it is a climate, terrains, or available forage. Some breeds are better suited to hot and climates, while others maybe thrive in cooler and warm environments. Selecting animals that are adapted to your local condition ensure that they will be able to graze effectively. Breed or individuals that struggle with this local environment are less likely to thrive and should not be selected for breeding. To sum up, selecting animals for breeding and rearing goes far beyond just physical conformations. Factors such as temperament, mothering ability, disease resistance, reproductive health, and environmental adaptability are equally important in ensuring that you build a healthy, productive, and sustainable flock. By taking all these factors into consideration, you can make more informed decisions about which animal to breed and rear. This will lead to better genetics, healthier offspring, and ultimately a successful farming operation. Thank you for joining me.